our first 3-year projections, we went to 4 million our first year, 6 million second year, 8 million the third year. For our first full year, we did 22 million. People kind of like, well, that's great. Wow, how'd you do that? It's not great. It was a dumb decision. It almost put us out of business.
Another important thing that we always hear about from employees to marketing is also financing a construction business. And you've shared that a ton. I mean, you talked about taking this, $60,000 loan and turning it into the Moss utilities of today and how hard it is in the construction world, the adversarial nature of it. But how did you finance the construction business? Why is that a topic that you're so passionate about and willing to share?
It means a lot to me because that's where my biggest mistakes have come from. And the hardest things I've been through have been around how to finance this company. And I like sharing it because I didn't know any of this stuff. Case and I got started and we had a pretty good idea how to put the work in. I could do an income statement projection, but I had no idea about a cash flow projection. I had no idea about how retainage was going to eat us up as we grew. I had no idea about how long it would take to collect some of the money and what could happen if you run out of cash and how much sleep I'd lose, how many nights I didn't know how we were going to make payroll. So that's been the cause of a lot of my anxiety and stress with this business. It kind of changed me as a person. And now that we're on the other side of that, improving and going forward, it just makes me so thankful that I got through that. But it's hard, and people need to know if they want to go start a construction company that how you finance the business, how you cash flow it, your plans for growth need to be thought about. And the G in growth is not always for good. Growth can really hurt a construction business. So it's got to be well planned out, well thought about. And we got started with a $60,000 loan and then a small SBA loan. I was able to find a banker to give us an SBA loan getting started. But we went through some really terrible banks. I probably interviewed 40 or 50 different banks here in DFW over the last couple of years. None of them like construction. No banker wants to lend to new businesses, especially construction businesses. So it's been really tough, and we've gotten lucky and worked really, really hard to get out of that. And we're not going to forget it. It's taught us a lot of valuable lessons, and it's an important topic to me, and I like sharing it. I want other people to see that what they're going through, they're not alone in that, and that there's the options out there. If you guys were around when we got started, you would have been a great option for us. And there's people out there going through that too. So
the thing that always resonates with me the most that you had said is like, I just wish I knew some of the things I know now. And I talk to our team about this all the time is, guys, I don't care if someone's driving down the street and makes a phone call to us and they're looking for a Jiffy Lube and they made the wrong call. Like, you're in front of your computer, type in Jiffy Lube, ask them where they are and give them the directions and then hang up. Do whatever it is to help those folks, help those people. But from a tactical perspective, if I'm another subcontractor listening to this conversation, what would you tell them to not do that you learned or you wish you didn't do? Or what would you tell them to do that could make a difference for them? Because you're right, banks don't want to finance construction companies. They don't want to finance new ones, but yet you made it happen. So if you were to shrink that learning curve down for them and a couple things of what not to do and what to do, what would you say those are?
I think just finding somebody that does what you want to do and going and asking them for help is a huge would be a huge advantage. And so if you want to start a construction company, if you want to start any type of business, finding that mentor, people want to send the ladder back down. They want to help. And that's something that I didn't do a good job of. And if I did, I probably would have somebody sitting there having me tap the brakes on our growth, have me slow down, have me like, okay, let's make sure we're profitable here at this size. Let's make sure we have all of our processes in at this size. Let's wait until we grow. And I had people in my ear telling me to slow down a little bit. I just didn't want to listen. If you want to get started on your own as an entrepreneur, it's great. It's really rewarding, but it's a lot harder than you think. And you really have to be thinking about where does the money come from? Our first 3-year projections, if you look back, I said we went to 4 million our first year, 6 million, second year, 8 million the third year. For our first full year, we did 22 million. So people kind of like, well, that's great. Wow, how'd you do that? It's not great. It was a dumb decision. It was it almost put us out of business. And so all growth isn't great. Chasing every work you could think of without really knowing the repercussions of it, not a good decision. So I think you slow down, you grow in stages, you make sure you're working on fundamentals, you're working on your operations, and at certain smaller sizes, and then take it to the next level when you're ready.
Is there any type of certain financing that you would avoid?
Ooh, I think you guys say it just as loud as I do. Merchant cash advances. We are one of the few people out there that have survived them. Those are absolutely terrible. It's loan shark money. I can't say enough 4-letter words about those kind of guys. And we got lucky and were able to get out of one. But a lot of the companies don't survive taking out merchant cash advances. You need a true lending partner or a true financing partner that understands your business and can build something to help. That's a win-win. And those guys don't do that.
The one thing I want people to take away from what you've said, and you've said it a few times, I don't know if you do this intentionally, but you've put forth a lot of effort. I know you said you interviewed 50 banks. I mean, that takes a lot of effort and energy. You're not like just taking the easy road. If you take the easy road every time, easy is talk to one bank, they say no. Talk to 2. Shit, talk to 10. You can probably pat yourself on the back and say you did a good job, and you still got no. But you went to 50, you know what I mean? And even after the 50th one, you didn't get the best solution, but you got one. And then that one turned into another one. And I think if I were to make sure anyone walked away from this, particularly this segment of this conversation, I want them to know those things, that the effort and energy you poured into it is what got you the result. It wasn't like luck.
You especially get really frustrated because most bankers don't. Right now, they're just checking boxes. They're just, hey, do you fit this little box? Do you have this ratio? Is this number right on your balance sheet? Is this okay? Here's a loan. And you get really frustrated when bankers don't want to really get to know anything about your company, anything about your story. There's not a whole lot of personal banking going on anymore. And we're really lucky that we found one now, but it took trying. It took a lot of effort. We even had a couple of equity deals fall through. I had a term sheet from a hedge fund to give us a bunch of money that fell through. That ended up being a completely probably fraudulent hedge fund. So we've just been constantly plugging, and our ability to just keep going one foot in front of the other and just keep fighting. I mean, I can't tell you how many times we didn't know we were going to make payroll. I mean, as scary as that is. And I'm not scared to put that out there because people need to know that it's real and it's tough. And it feels a lot better getting through it now and learning the lessons the hard way. I'm very thankful that we had to go where we did. Like you said earlier, it's taught me a lot.
We're never as alone as we might think we are. It's just everyone's dealing with the same stuff. A lot of people have gotten through it, and a lot of people are on the other side of it. And all the answers are out there if you look for them. So I think it's great that you're willing to share that stuff.